Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. How about we do some Ugly Watch Wednesday? Let us begin. By the way, all of these watches tonight are brought to us by eBay. We begin tonight's parade of ugly watches with the vintage Gruen Watch. This watch is a vintage Gruen watch. Now I own a Nomos Orion Anthracite watch, and the lugs on that watch are the one thing that people constantly call out as a deal breaker. But those lugs are nothing compared to these. Just look at that crazy gap between the case and the spring bar. Your mama's so fat, yet she can still fit between the bracelet and the case of this watch. You can fit a bracelet inside a strap inside a bracelet within that gap. Those things are so long, even the original Dune movie would be shorter. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that one. That's dumb. But I mean, other than those lugs, it's actually a brilliant looking watch. Next up, we have some gold-plated Grossness. Amazingly, this is considered a men's watch. I feel like gold is already an iffy material to work with. It is very easy to get gold wrong, and this would be a gaudy watch even if it were categorized as a ladies' watch. I get the call out to the design sensibilities of the ancient past, but holy cow, this watch is painfully gaudy. It makes 1990s rapper bling look like something that you would wear to a wedding. Even Mr. T would be embarrassed to wear this thing. Not even Wish would touch it. Invictus said even we have limits. And look at those lugs. Imagine trying to replace the leather strap. I need a Smurf-size strap. Please don't make me explain why. Next up we have a Swatch. Oh wait, never mind. It's not a Swatch. This is a listing that's going for over $240. It's a Tag Heuer watch, but just look at that thing. It looks like a Swatch, all plastic dive watch. And what in the world is going on with those hidden lugs? Jason X looks cooler than those things. I mean, holy crap, is this a flick-flack watch? There are a lot of people who get down on Tag Heuer. If this watch is any example, I could absolutely see why. How in the world did this ever get out of the boardroom? Muppet green Rolex hands, a flick-flack / Swatch Bezel, Jason X lugs. I feel like it would take a Herculean effort to intentionally make an uglier watch. It was almost like they were trying to inflict pain on the entire world. That is just terrible. Next up we have a super sporty watch. This watch sold for, wait for it, $1.50. And for good reason. It's blobby, asymmetric, it's plastic, it's probably one of the ugliest sports watches I've ever seen. You would have to really try hard to make a watch uglier and cheaper than this one. But it's a utilitarian sports watch, you say? No. Nope. It looks like alien tech, where the aliens were like, why don't we make our stuff look more like human tech? This is why we gave up on futurism. This is why we went from the 1950s idea of air travel to today's public transportation in the sky. This watch is solely responsible for ruining the future. I mean, this Nike watch actually looks cool, so I'm not sure what happened with the other one. Next up, we have a Nirvana watch. Oy vey, this watch is something. First, there's the Nirvana mystery. There was such a thing as the Nirvana Watch Co. However, I believe that brand went away a long time ago. There's also the band, but this watch is listed as vintage. So the question is, how vintage? 1990s vintage or 1980s vintage? Man, pretty soon we're going to need some more words, because if everything's vintage, then nothing is. If this particular Nirvana is the band, maybe a heart-shaped box watch? When I scour the super helpful internet, have you ever noticed how much there isn't out there on the internet? I feel like so many things that I go to research, there's just absolutely nothing on them, except maybe a Wikipedia article, but that's about it. Anyway, I haven't seen any Nirvana band watches, plus this watch doesn't use their iconic font on the dial, but whatever this mysterious watch is, one thing it is not is pleasant to look at. Jelly bean indices with an amateur attempt at a Ren and Stimpy font, a grandma pillow stitchwork heart, ridiculous leaf hands that were designed by a 3-year-old, quote diamonds on the bezel, a black-coated case that's losing its color even where nothing would come in contact with it. It's always cool when a watch has a fixed bezel with a really good grip on it, just so that you could try to turn it and fail over and over again. Those numeric indices almost look like little kids' birthday cake candles. And what's up with the weird dots all over the re-hottish hours ring? Who designed this thing? And at the time that I found it, apparently nobody on eBay has an appreciation for true art, because this watch had 0 bids. Next up we have the Coming Soon watch, and I'm kinda sad about this one. When I first pulled it up, the only picture there was for the watch was a Coming Soon placeholder, so I guess at that time you would just be buying a watch sight unseen. However, when I went back to work on this video, about a week or so later, they had posted pictures. I was hoping they would just leave it with that placeholder image on there, cause I mean people have purchased far stranger things on eBay. Other people's bathwater, an unauthorized sale of New Zealand, 6 twigs for children to play with for $86, and an Among Us McDonald's Chicken McNugget that sold for almost $100,000. Whoa. It turns out this was a listing for an actually pretty decent ladies' watch. And last up, we have a watch for your grandmother, a bingo watch. Do you need a watch to get Granny? I have just the piece for you, a bingo watch. Yves Saint Laurent was trying to capitalize on the exploding 80-year-old grandma watch collector market with this one. I feel like it should come with a little tiny bingo marker so you could actually play bingo on your watch. Forget roulette or poker or other cool games, it's all about bingo, my babies. I love how legible this watch is. Given that I have a female viewership of maybe 1%, and I'm pretty sure 0% of them are over 65, I feel like Yves Saint Laurent made a wise move in pivoting toward this age bracket. Yeah, I think it'll be very lucrative for them. But I mean, if Granny doesn't want to go for a bingo watch, maybe she wants a Nirvana stitchwork watch. That'll do it for this installment of Ugly Watches. Thanks for watching.